video. Having a blast here with my friend Chris Blair. That's a good start, right?
Yeah, we had. This is to say we had a few technical issues that causing,
It always happens. It always happens.
Yeah.
So Chris, I wanted to talk to Chris because I mean you've been in the online game for a long time, and drop shipping, building brands, the whole nine yards, Facebook ads, kind of like what I do, but you've been around a lot longer than I have. Let's just put it that way.
Been in that business since 2009. So
is it 2009?
Over a decade.
Yeah, I thought it was longer than that, but still, though, you and Phil and a couple other people are the ones that I always looked up to when I was like still learning and all that good stuff, and because you guys started before the whole Shopify thing. But anyway, so you're in Japan, out of all freaking places. Like, how did you end? Before we get into the whole drop shipping and all that stuff, how your story, man? How did you ended up in Japan, and how did you get to like where we're at now? Drop shipping and all that stuff. And
all right. So, back when I was in university, my parents just happened to get actually his company asked my dad to move out to Japan and run the Japan operation for them. So I was still going to university, and I came out for a couple summers, and I really liked it. And I started studying Japanese, and 2 summers I spent here, I just really enjoyed it. And I was like, well, you know what? I really want to work in Japan after I graduate. So I got a job teaching English. Right, it's the easiest type of job you can get as a foreigner working in Japan. So I was teaching English at junior high school, and I really enjoyed that. I remember my first Christmas vacation. My first see, as a foreign teacher here, they make a couple exceptions. Usually they allow you to go back for Christmas, right? So because typically the school year will end not December, the winter vacation will end in December, like 23rd or 24th, and so it's hard to get back in time. So they give you a couple extra days to go back early, right? So anyway, on December 21st, they gave me leave, and they said I was in Kyoto, Japan, and people said, oh. They didn't realize that my parents were still in Japan. They said, "Oh, where are you flying back to the States?" I said, "No, I'm getting on the bullet train and going up to Tokyo. My mom and dad are still in Tokyo. They're leaving in April this next year." So my first Christmas vacation back was actually getting on a 2.5-hour trip to Tokyo, and my parents were still in Japan.
Nice.
Then my parents ended up spending almost 4 years here.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So how long you been there now? How many years?
If I just count the 2 summers I spent during my university, if I just go from university onwards, I've been here for 23 years.
Oh wow, you've been in Japan as long as I've been in the States, man. You've been in Japan as long as I. That's how long ago I learned English.
Really? Where are you originally from?
Venezuela.
Venezuela, okay.
Yeah,
cool,
man.
Cool.
I was born in Italy and then moved to Venezuela and then grew up here, moved to Florida long time ago. 23 years ago, actually, on the dot. And that's when I started learning English. So, and
wow.
Funny enough, I always liked Japan, been obsessed with Japan. And for one reason or the other, I just haven't made the trip yet. And now my wife and I, we're actually planning a trip to Japan. So I've been binge watching a bunch of Japan stuff like Everyday Life. And, I just watched a series on Amazon with James May from Top Gear where he did like a 6-episode run through Japan. And dude, it's so cool. Like, I don't know, I'm dying to go.
I mean, I knew from my 2 summers here I spent that I would like being here. So, but my plan was to teach English here for 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 at the most, and then go back. One thing led to another, and I just started living here, and I just loved it so much. I couldn't see any reason to go back to the States. And then, but I did, after a few years working here, I thought, you know what, teaching English is good fun, and I really enjoyed it, but you can't make a lot of money teaching English. I looked around me at the guys around me who I met at the pub at 40s, 50s, and 60s, right? They're making about $50,000, $60,000 a year. And as a freshman English teacher, as a new English teacher, I was making about $28,000, $30,000 a year. So I'm like, wow, I mean, that's not a big increase in income. And so, although teaching English is fun, it's not a great career path. So I started looking for something different, and I got lucky. I got into sales. This happened to find a Japanese company that really wanted to do overseas sales. They through a connection, they found out about me, and I've been studying Japanese really hard, and they knew I could communicate internally in Japanese no problem. write reports in Japanese. So and I was a very outgoing personality. I'd never had any sales experience, but for some reason they decided to take a chance and they hired me for that job. And I had a lot of success selling their services abroad. One thing led to another, and then did some headhunting for a while. Then after that, I worked I discovered the internet, and the rest is history. I've been on the internet since 2009.
Yeah.
Doing physical products. It's what we call e-com. So people watching this podcast, you may not know, or
YouTube or listening to the podcast. Yeah. Yes.
So you may not know. For us, you guys may look at internet marketing and think it's all the same, but for us, industry insiders, there's basically two sides of this business. There's digital marketing, which is software, training courses, videos, things that will be delivered to your inbox via email, right? Things that exist in the virtual world, like on YouTube. That's like this podcast, this video is a digital marketing thing, right? But the thing with e-com, right, we consider e-commerce is there's some sort of physical product that's ordered from a website, and the customer is expecting that physical product to show up via delivery. So, for an example, Amazon is an e-com business, right? They're not a digital business, although now they have some digital stuff. So they started off 100% e-com, right, with books. But anyway, that's how we divide the space. So I started in 2009 doing 100% digital. From 2012 on, I've been 100% on e-com.
So, okay. And
that said, I have some training courses, which is digital. But anyway,
yeah, of course. That's all right. We'll talk about that. But when you started straight up e-com, right? Before even Shopify, correct?
Yes. I started on Teespring.
Okay. See, I came in like right at the tail end of Teespring. So I don't know what year.
Well, Teespring's still going. It's just the from 2012 to about 2000 and end of 2014.
I meant the tail end of like before everybody went to Shopify. Like, everybody's like, oh, shiny new object. This is going to be great type of deal. But yeah.
Yeah. So this guy's back on, there's this thing called Teespring, and what they basically were a t-shirt company. Now they have a few other items that you can sell, but you could upload any design you want, and Teespring would take care of the delivery, the customer service. They would sell it from their website. You would get a link from Teespring. You'd market your link however you wanted. Now, most of us were using Facebook ads, but some people were using other tools or other advertising like Google ads, for example, or Reddit or whatever, right? But the point is, everything's done through Teespring. They give you a base price. So they'll say, like, for example, we'll charge you $10 for this shirt, and you can put up any markup you want. You do the promotion of the product, and then after about a week, you finish that campaign for that particular product you're selling, and they send you the money. Then you can relaunch and redo it. We often we just renew, and run the campaigns over and over and over again, but they pay us every week. And so you're selling under Teespring and under Teespring's brand. And Teespring was a new, novel thing. It really opened the door for us small-time people to get involved in the e-com space. Up to that, it was really just big companies selling on e-com, selling stuff. And they're a pioneer, and I'm really grateful for Teespring. But the problem with Teespring is that, you were building their brand, not building your own brand. So Teespring really had its heyday in 2012, 13, and 14. A lot of investment bankers and investors, right, invested in them, and all sorts of other stuff happened. But anyway, from about 2015 on, Shopify discovered that there was this entire space of people. I mean, we're not talking a few hundred. We're talking several thousand people selling on Teespring, and some of these copycats that came up. Like there was a couple of ones. There was what was one we tested them up.
There was a couple of them. I can't remember the names, but I remember there was a couple of them.
There were a couple other Teespring copycats or Teespring something like that. So Shopify was really not meant. Shopify, I know people in Shopify. I became really good friends with them. Shopify Shopify makes most of their money now from us small internet marketing people, right, who want to start their own business. But that was not the game plan. The original game plan for
it wasn't?
No.
I didn't know that.
The original game plan for Shopify was to try to go after the BMWs of the world, right?
Really?
They wanted to make a platform ideal for those type of companies, right? Those big companies. But those big companies wanted full control of everything. And so they were having real trouble marketing to them. And then just by accident, they discovered about this whole space. And then they realized that we were building a brand. We were basically building someone else's brand. So then they came up with a whole new marketing strategy to try to go after us. And it was really appealing because, hey, We're going to do the hosting, the security of your data. We're going to offer you tons of apps. We're going to make it a full solution for you, and you can still own your own website and domain. It was like perfect.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it was like, wow, that's exactly what we need. And instead of building it all out ourselves, because building it all yourself can be expensive, right? And
oh yeah, absolutely.
And there be all sorts of.
I remember back in the day looking at costs for building a website, and everybody kept saying Magento, Magento, Magento. And I remember getting a quote one day, and it was like 35 grand or some shit like that. I was like, no, I can't do that. I'm not doing that without approving. You know what I'm saying? And then it just, you know, that's when Shopify.
With Shopify, the cheapest plan is $30 a month, and it comes with hosting, and yeah, it comes with hosting. All right, it comes with a free theme that you can use, right, for your design of your website that you can upgrade to better, right. Design home themes, but they're basically website designs with features, right? It comes with security, right? So for your data, right, which is really, really important. You do not want to be a company out there who loses your customer data.
No, not at all.
That can get you in some serious shit. And so that's a big feature that a lot of people don't even think about that Shopify also includes. They protect your data for you. So, I mean, Shopify was a godsend. It really was.
And they still have, I mean, you can get a free trial. I even throw a link down there in the description.
14 days.
So you can try it out. So you went from Teespring and you went to Shopify, but when you went to Shopify, you were doing generic, different niches. So was it the same niche of the store that I'm thinking about right now? You know what I'm thinking about, the one with that hat.
I had a store called Kuriyama. It was a general store, dropshipping stuff. And I made a lot of money with that. I mean, a lot. And it was a great, successful business for dropshipping, basically necklaces and other stuff from China. But I ran into about 6 months into it, I ran into kind of about 6 months into it, I realized, this is back in 2015, I realized, a general store, right, with multiple niches, dropshipping stuff from China. I mean, this may be a cash machine, but for branding, it's shit. It's totally worthless. No one's going to buy it. First of all, the mailing lists all over the place. I got grandmas, I got photographers, I've got all sorts of people, right? I'm running something on Facebook ads. I've got no SEO traffic whatsoever, no organic traffic, just 100 Facebook ads. And I'm dropshipping low-quality stuff from China. I mean, who is going to buy that brand? The brand value is basically zero.
Right.
It was a cash machine, but it was zero. So I realized I wasn't building anything that was long term. So I decided to change my focus to focus on one niche. Now I've actually got two niche stores, but at the time I just said, look, there's one niche, and I'll be open. I mean, it's not a big secret anymore. It's really hard when you're as well-known guru or trainer, whatever you want to call me, and you have a site people know what it is. It's a site called Last Beer Standing. It's a beer related theme website. It's, as far as I know, it's the second biggest physical product e-com seller on Facebook. There's one other one that I know is bigger than me.
Yeah, it's huge.
There may be another one or two that are big players, but I know of only one. I'm only aware of one. But anyway, yeah.
I remember. How long have you had that store now? How long has it been?
Since 2016.
Wow. So you're close.
Still running smoothly.
Still running. See, I don't see the ads anymore because I don't party like I used to. So they don't pop on my feed. But I remember. Okay, so what was the biggest thing? Because we were in the same group, and I remember you going through some of the same issues that I did with like fulfillment and all that stuff. We'll get into that, but let's talk about the person. I mean, it's a little bit different nowadays than it used to be back then, and there's a lot more competition. Ad costs are not the same. And especially now with everything that's going on, I don't even know what's going on with shipping from China. But what was what was going through your head when you decided, okay, I have to niche down, which you explained already, have to niche down. But how did you choose the niche, and how did you put all the pieces into place to be sure that when you launched the niche, you had a success in your hands, pretty much?
Okay, so what I was looking for was something that I personally could understand and know. I figured I had a bigger chance of having success, something that I understood and know. And I grew up in Denver, Colorado, right, in a beer drinking environment, pretty redneck, right. Although Denver right now is very cosmopolitan, it's much different than it used to be back when I was there. It was much different. I mean, when I was in high school, I'm embarrassed to admit this, chewing tobacco was a popular thing. Almost every kid in my high school chewed tobacco. Every guy in my high school chewed tobacco, which is disgusting. I'm embarrassed to admit that I've done it before. I mean, I haven't done it for years since high school, but I mean, God, it's so gross. You put this tobacco in your mouth.
I tried it.
Why? I don't understand it. Looking back, and I feel like a freaking moron.
Listen, I used to smoke tons of cigarettes back in the day, and I will do the chewing tobacco thing when I run out of cigarettes or whatever. I'm just like, and I was like, how do you guys do this? And cigarettes are gross altogether too, but I don't know. I could never do it. I'm glad I never did. Yeah, so.
Anyway, so that said, I understood that mentality, the beer drinking community, and I had some success selling beer shirts on Teespring in the past. So I thought, you know what, that's a niche that I can relate to. I can relate to these people. I could go into Google and find interesting memes to post on the fan page, and I can spot them in a heartbeat, right? I can.
And your page, man, your page used to get so much engagement. I mean, I would see your organic. Does it? I
have a post from like 3 days ago. It's got 55,000 shares.
I believe it because like I used to see the post on my feed all the time. I even like always liked it and hearted and all that, to make sure I see him. To see what Chris was up to, but I never.
I got a post from the other day. It's got like 2 days ago. It's got like 12,000 shares.
How many fans do you have? I mean, it has to be millions by now with all the
ads you've done. You'd be surprised. It's just under 554,000. I don't run like ads at all. We just
no. I never do.
Grow the page organically through posting good content and running product ads. And when you run a product ad, some people will like the product and say, "Oh, God, I like this fan page. I want to see more from this fan page." So we don't run like ads. It's just growing organically. So it's over half. It's 540,000 or something like that.
Yeah, and people click on the ads and they like from the ads too, which is that's how I get that feel.
Give or take, something like that. Yeah.
So you decided you knew from growing up in Denver, Colorado, you decided you're going to go into a beer niche because you think you can Google the memes and make sense, which makes total sense. And then that's how you started. So you started with T-shirts, I'm assuming.
Back then, we started with T-shirts and hats and a few other things. By the time 2016 rolled around, there was so many options with Custom Cat and some of the other companies of stuff you could sell. Right back in 2012 to 14 with Teespring, it was basically T-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, and a few other little tidbits. And then in 2015, for print on demand, which was another reason why I was doing dropshipping from China, beginning of 2015, the only option for print on demand on Shopify was T-Launch. T-Launch had T-shirts, coffee mugs, and a few other things. They were quite limited. So it wasn't until Custom Cat came along in mid-2015 that the door really opened. Custom Cat was this massive company in Detroit that had their own website called My Locker, and they were selling gym bags and
all kinds
travel
of
stuff, blankets, and all sorts of stuff. And they opened up their entire inventory for print on demand. And that was a game changer because of two reasons. One, at that very moment, I suddenly went from having just, because I said, by the way, I left out this part, so there's probably a logical disconnect, people who are listening. When I decided to go from the general store, dropshipping stuff from China, into print on demand, I made a decision at this point that, look, I want to build a niche brand. And so an important part of a niche brand is the lifetime value of a customer. The most important thing is building that brand. And fast, quick delivery is another key component of that. So even though T-shirts and things like that are not as profitable as some of the stuff I could sell back at the time. Now there's tons of profitable stuff you can sell on print on demand. But back in 2016, the stuff that was available to me at that time, the profit margins were not as good as it was for dropship products. But I decided to make a decision, you know what, to sacrifice money on the front end sale that I could make dropshipping from China, because when I dropship something from China on my old website, they would wait 2 to 3 weeks or 4 weeks to get the product. And then we email them to buy, we would get complaints. Rather than buying again, they were actually responding back telling us that our service was crap. So I'm like, this is not building a brand. So I decided, you know what? I want fast delivery. The most important thing, I want fast delivery, because the real money is in the long lifetime value of a customer, not in the what do you call it, in the front end
Preach
sale.
on the call conversion. I talk about it all the time. LTV, lifetime value.
So the thing is, nowadays we're lucky. We can get the best of both worlds. We got tons of high-end print-on-demand stuff. We can get big margins, right, and fast delivery. So that's the best of both worlds. But back in 2016, right, Custom Cat was the only player in town, and their T-shirts were cheap. But some of the other products they sold, even they offered you a large product variety, they didn't have they weren't selling a lot of volume of that stuff, so they were charging high prices for it. So you couldn't make a lot of money off the front of sale. But later on, that changed as the market opened up. And more and more people came in, and more people started doing POD. They were moving more volume, so they could bulk ship more, and then just lower the price. So Custom Cat was a game changer because they opened up the door to all sorts of new ideas. And then at that time, there were tons of small print-on-demand suppliers, Scalable Press, T-Launch, and other ones that are now out of business, right? But anyway, what happened was people flooded the Custom Cat because they wanted the variety of options, okay? And other print-on-demand suppliers saw that. So what they did was they started adding more product types, right? So we had more variety of stuff that we can sell, okay? That was step one in the game changing. Step two was this. My Locker's competitors, right, saw that they were making a lot of money with this print-on-demand side business, Custom Cat. Because Custom Cat is a division or a side business, or that's the branding they use for the print-on-demand for mylocker.com, which is a big sell. They'll fulfill like 10,000 shirts for Adidas, right? That kind of company, right? They have a huge facility in Detroit, Michigan, massive. You've seen. I
saw a video of the facility. Like I think it was yesterday. I saw it in one of the groups. Somebody posted, getting prepared for whatever, what's going on right now, and they shot a video of their warehouse. I was like, holy shit! I had no idea Custom Cat was that big.
They're huge. I mean, and Custom Cat itself is just a part of their business. But anyway, so what happened is the competitors of My Locker saw what was going on, and they started opening up their own POD fulfillment option, right? Print on demand. So this now, I mean, guys, we have the number of products that we can sell print on demand is just unreal. Wall art, swimsuits, shorts, beer steins. It's incredible. We have so much opportunity now in the print on demand space. Thousands of prototypes. Plus, if you think about it, right? If you can use your creativity and you understand how to create ideas, your possibilities are limitless on the type of stuff that you can create and launch. It's incredible.
So for people,
this is the boom time of POD.
Oh, it really is. And for people that don't know what the process is usually like you don't do the designs yourself. You hire somebody to do it, correct?
That's right. I have a designer, full-time designer on staff. Now you don't have to do that. You can pay per project, per design. So I jumped ahead assuming that most people understand what POD is, and from what I said, people are probably
That's what I'm reeling you back a little bit because I know what you're talking about, but
Yeah, people who are newbie are probably getting some idea from what I just said, but let me explain this to you in from step by step, okay? So there's a company in Detroit called Custom Cat. This is one example, there's many of them, okay? So Custom Cat has blanks. They will order the blanks from China, Vietnam, Bangladesh, all sorts of stuff. So they'll have, for example, the hat you're wearing. That's a flex fit cap, right?
Yeah.
They'll have 20,000 of these black flex caps, right? They'll have 30,000 t-shirts. They'll have 40,000 beer mugs. They have yoga mats. They'll have 10,000 yoga mats and all sorts of other products, and the list goes on and on and on. And these will be blanks, okay? Blanks. Nothing is written on these. These are just blank things, right? So what happens is through an app, right, we launch our design into their system, saying that we're going to put this design on that hat, okay? We export from their app to our Shopify store app, right? So it's connecting via Shopify. We sell it on our Shopify website, right? We're under your own branding, whatever your brand is, right? When an order comes in, here's the most beautiful part. Here's the number one most beautiful part. When an order comes in, unlike dropshipping where I have to go to AliExpress or some other website and actually fill in the information and process the order, guess what I do? Nothing. Nothing at all. It's all automated. I got my payment information in there via my PayPal. I've authorized any payment from them, and then it just goes bang, bang, bang. They literally, it pings through my store to their app. They get the order. They process the order within a couple days, literally 2 days, 3 days at the most. They ship it out to my customer, and bang.
And that's the beauty of where we're at now, where you don't have to buy all this inventory without knowing if it's going to sell or not. You can test a million products and see what sells and what doesn't, and scale whatever your quote unquote winner is. So you don't have to worry about inventory. So in order to get the designers, where did you find your designers? I mean, I know there's a bunch of sites out there, but
there's some sites you can look. Fiverr, there's Upwork, Freelancer. I found my guy on onlinejobs.ph. He's Filipino.
Yeah. I was gonna say onlinejobs.ph is a pretty good one. I got a lot of people from there.
Yeah, Philippine. I've had really great experience with Philippine designers and virtual assistants. Yeah.
So now you have the store going. You have all this print on demand stuff going on, but there's a second equation: traffic. That's a lot of what I talk about in here. Traffic, how to get traffic to yourself, conversions, all that stuff. So obviously, I know you do Facebook ads. Were you learning, or you already had Facebook's ads down when you were dealing with Teespring, right? I mean, at that time, it wasn't that complicated either.
I was running Facebook ads from about 2010 to the digital game. Now I had to adjust.
The gold rush.
Yeah, I had to adjust. I had to adjust a little bit on how you create the ad image and things like that for physical products. But no, yeah, and then I just been running Facebook ads since then and keeping up with the newest changes. So I've been running Facebook ads for 10 years.
Yeah, yes, I'm here, man. I love it. I mean, it's a headache some days, and then one day is great, one day it's not, just because of bugs or whatever. But I mean, overall, I think the direction they're going, it's gonna get to the point where you just press a button and it's just gonna do everything for you. It's just, I think it's like with people like us, we just used to tinkering with everything in there. That's what most people are not. I think they're not seeing that much success with CBO because I just let them run wild. Well, not wild. I'll set some rules in there, but let them do their thing. And a lot of people just, they try to load up a CBO with like a $10 ad spend with 20 ad sets. It's like, come on, that's not going to work, So what do you think? Okay. So that's where how you got up until now. So what do you think everything's going now with Shopify and everything? I mean, people are like, oh, drop shipping is dead and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, it's not. It's just, you just got to find good suppliers that ship your stuff on time. Like you're talking about, Custom Cat, where everything goes out super fast. But what do you think it's going to go? Like what do you see the next 5 years going? Because I mean, back then we thought that was like the quote unquote gold rush, but I still, I think the next thing that's going to be huge is personalization, personalizing products for people, whether it's like personalized design or not the name, but like, pictures and stuff like that. What do you think? What do you think it's going to happen? What do you think this is going in the next 5 years? Let's just put it that way.
So first of all, let's talk about what you just talked about. Yeah, personalized, customized, giving the customer the ability to customize the product in some way. Put in any custom text like I love you, Jane, or to Jane, or the person's name, or the date of birth, and state, city, horoscope. All that right now is already big, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Uploading custom photos is going to get bigger and bigger, and I think that what's going to get bigger and bigger is the amount of products that we have available for us on print on demand. I mean, the print on demand companies realize that we want variety. We want a huge variety, and they're looking every day. I mean, recently T-Launch added cutting boards and stereo equipment.
Oh yeah. I still have T-Launch in one of my stores. Yeah, they have like the headphones and they have the
you can like
the
Bluetooth. You can put a design on a Bluetooth.
Yeah. Skateboards.
Skateboard decks. All sorts of stuff. So there's going to be a huge variety of stuff, right? And I think there's going to be more emphasis on print on demand because, see, what's happening now is Facebook has this customer feedback thing. So anyone who buys from Facebook, right, say they go to your website and they buy, and it's directly from the ad. And if it's indirect, right, that happens, right? Sometimes people share or tag, and or send it off to their friend or whatever, that's a different story. But if they serve an ad to a person and they go and buy, and Facebook can clearly track it, which they can in a lot of cases, they're going to serve, after about a couple weeks, they're going to serve that person with an ad saying, this is Facebook's ad, right? By the way, not your ad, Facebook's ad saying, we want only quality suppliers on our website, using our ads platform. Will you please rate this site and give feedback? And I know dropshippers who literally who've gotten warnings from Facebook saying, hey, your customer feedback's horrible. For the next 2 weeks, we're penalizing you with higher CPMs. And literally, yeah, it's exactly what happened. Their cost.
It happened to me. It happened to me. I was testing a new product and I didn't want to buy the bulk up front. So I wanted to see if it worked. And I got greedy and scaled in 4 days. So like $20,000 in sales. And then I get the call. It's like, we can't keep up. We're out. I was like, what? And then of course, I've been in this game for a long time. So the first thing I did, I was like, all right, I got to handle this. So I sent emails to everybody. It's like, hey, there's a delay. If you want a refund, let me know. I'll be more than happy to refund you, but this is what's going on, blah, 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 blah. And in the middle of this, Facebook sends this is when the customer feedback first started, sends the ad out asking how the thing was. And I never changed the shipping time on it. So the shipping time was set to like 5 days or something like that, whatever the minimum is. And sure enough, of course, oh, did you get in time? Nope. And my feedback dropped to like 1.5. And when that happened, even though after I got everything fixed and, everything great, it took me a while to get it back up. And my ad costs were double. They doubled the ad costs, and because that's how they penalize you, Yeah.
And they make you pay more for ads because they don't, and then they're going to kick some people off. In fact, I know a person who's got kicked off. So this is going to hurt dropshipping. Okay. The reason why it's going to hurt dropshipping is because it's longer shipping times from China. So this is going to strive, it's going to create more of a need for a print-on-demand solution, right? So, yeah, I think dropshipping is going to be, I can't say dropshipping will die because dropshipping will never die, but there'll be more and more print-on-demand for sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool, man. So I know we're running out of time. So real quick, so if you met somebody they're starting today, what's the best piece of advice that you will give them to, getting into or learning about this?
Okay. All right. So yeah, my best piece of advice, maybe some people disagree with this, but here's the thing. There's so much information out there, right? There's tons of free information on YouTube. They've even some groups free you can interact. But if you go look at the advice that's being given, a lot of it's contradictory, right? A lot of it, it's not good advice at all. It's by advice people who've never been there before and never been successful, right? I mean, think about this. I mean, if you started a job today working at Subway, and then the person who's teaching you started the job yesterday? How would you? Wouldn't that feel kind of weird to you?
I never had anybody put it like that.
I mean, literally, the guy started yesterday is 1 page ahead of you in the book.
Yeah. There's a lot of out there.
That's your mentor. So I mean, and you have more than one of those. You have like 10,000 of them in some of these groups. And so, guys, find one person. And by the way, it doesn't have to be me. If you saw this interview, and think, man, that Chris guy, he's kind of weird. I don't know, something, he's died, whatever. I don't care. Find some, if it's me, it's great. If it's Chris, that's great, whatever. Find one person that you believe can help you, who's been there, has been in this game for a long time. Sign up for his coaching, training, whatever it is, and follow it to the T, and just have the blinders on and follow that guy's system. That is how you have success. And you save yourself a lot of wasted time and a lot of wasted money and a lot of frustration. And here's the most important thing. People understand lost money out of their pocket. They understand making mistakes. They understand frustration. But what they're missing is another key thing: lost opportunity.
Yeah,
monies that you could be making if you knew the right way.
That's true. I mean, I wasted so much money when I was getting because I didn't know what I was doing. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's why I started getting coaching and mentorship from other people, and that's how I got to a point. And then on my own, the more I spend, the more I learn. But I'm always learning from somebody, whether it's from groups or books or whatever. You always should be learning as it is. And then the person that you choose to learn from, it's somebody that you got to get along with too, if you're going to do the private coaching and stuff like that. So, make sure you do your research and all that stuff. Lots of scams out there. That's all I'm going to say. But, anyway, so we're out of time, but Chris, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Where can everybody find you? And I'm going to put all the links in the description.
Facebook's fine. Facebook.com/contact Chris Blair. Just give my Facebook profile. They can message me. I always check my other messages. So, sometimes if you're not friends with me, they'll go into the other. Mm-hmm. Every day I go and look there to see if there's any messages, because I do get messages. So if you message me on Facebook, you will eventually. I mean, if you go in the other box, it might take me a little longer, several hours to get back to you, because I do check it. So you will 100% reach me, no problem.
Yeah, he's in the other side of the world if you're in the US. So there's like a 24-hour delay.
So no, not quite that bad. Not quite that bad.
12 hours. 12 hours. Sorry. See, this is why I have calculators. All right. Well, Chris, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this with me and telling everybody about your journey, your experience, and I'm sure they're going to learn something from it, and hopefully, some people like what you have to say and they'll contact you. So
awesome.
Thanks, all right, man. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.